Hello, everybody. I hope you're well. I haven't made an odd video for YouTube in a while, but I figured this year is going to be the year that I actually finish an Inktober. So the first word, as you are probably well aware, is mustache. And sorry, I keep hearing someone's gate opening. I'm like, it's my gate, but it's not my gate. I decided to go with a turtle with a mustache, with mushrooms on his back as a fairy hotel. This took me about a couple of hours to come up with because I don't want to do anything basic. I didn't want to draw a person. I don't like drawing people. I like drawing animals. And I like drawing animals that like pretend they're human. And I also wanted to challenge myself a bit more because I've recently been starting to do like a lot of line art for coloring books and children's books and stuff. So I wanted to, by the end of this Inktober challenge, be able to turn it into a coloring book I can sell on Sally websites. Amazon, Takealot, I don't know. I have one on there, like an old one. I haven't really checked on it. I thought I'd do a bit more of that. I'm a little bit sick if you can't hear. Now, the question, is there going to be any tunes where I don't talk, like a little bit of music here, a little bit of lo-fi music? No, I trusted one site once that said royalty free music, just use our code in your description, and it wasn't royalty free music even with their code, so no, I'm not risking it. So I'm going to be chatting away, telling you guys about Mr. Turtle. His name is Rupert. I've been really liking the name Rupert lately. He is a very old, wise turtle. And my daughter asked me if it's a snail. So I sketched out the basic design a little bit before I actually started with Inktober, just to like be prepared for it. And I actually confused myself because I sketched out the main drawing for this one so long ago, like I think 10 days ago, that I actually got lost in my own line work there for a minute because I like using blue. Sometimes I'll use red, but mostly you'll see most of my backdrop sketches are blue. I just like it. But yeah, can you guys, when you're finished watching this video and you come by the end of it, my daughter and my mother has told me it's a snail. And I tell them, no, it's a turtle. So, if you make it to the end of this video, can you tell me if you see a turtle or if you see a snail? Because for me, it's like I drew it the way I know turtles look. Well, not that I'm a turtle expert or anything. We just open it over here. But I drew it turtly. Is it a turtle? Or is it a tortoise? What's the other one? I forgot the other one. But it looks like a turtle. It doesn't look like a snail. I don't know. I like looked at the turtle pictures and then I laid on my bed while watching YouTube videos and then I just doodled the basic shapes that I wanted, and then I took it to my sketchbook and I drew a clean sketch of it, and then I've got a turtle. It looks like a turtle. Okay, but anyway, Rupert here has been a very lonely turtle, because he moves so slowly through life. So Rupert decided that he's going to open his own fairy hotel. Rupert has never met fairies before, but he's seen them. Just fairies move so fast. I don't know. This is ridiculous. Anyway, so Rupert decided he will grow some mushrooms on his back and turn those mushrooms. He had to hire a colony of ants because he couldn't reach the mushrooms on his back. So he had to hire a colony of ants And a colony of ants came to his mushrooms and started digging out rooms and turning it into a fairy hotel. So now the super fast fairies can rent a room from Rupert's back hotel, and Rupert was never lonely again. I don't know. Okay. But yeah, my fairies are questionable. They were so small, and I didn't have a fine tip pen on me at this moment. I just had my gel pen, and I didn't want to spend too much time because I only had like about 2 hours for this specific sketch. Um, because I was tired and I'm sick. Well, so yeah. Um, yeah. I forgot where I was going with this, but anyway, Rupert takes the fairy hotel through the magical forest where you don't see magic happen, so that the fairies can make magic happen. And when they're tired, they can rest on Rupert's back in his mushroom hotel. How do they pay Rupert, you asked? Well, they find the fruit that Rupert can't reach at the top of the trees, and they pay him in fruit so that Rupert doesn't have to eat the fruit that falls from the trees to the ground. So he can have fresh fruit. That works. And Rupert has been doing this for a couple of months. So his Yelp reviews aren't that good, you know? No, it won't be Yelp reviews. So his Faye reviews won't be that good. And his Faye reviews are in the back of his shell. You can't see it because I didn't draw the back of his shell. Just imagine at the back of his shell there's a lot of sticky notes with a couple of stars on them. Most of them are between 3 stars and 5 stars. There's 2 1 stars where they complained Rupert was too slow. But Rupert is a turtle. But turtles can be fast too, but not Rupert. Rupert's very old. Anyway. Oh, where'd I go? I took my eyes off the screen for 1 second and then my hands disappear. Where'd I go here? I want to go do something. I want to go make coffee. Oh no, see, there's my shadow. I'm back. Oh, I was watching YouTube. I was getting very interested in the horror game I was watching there. I was like, oh, good heavens. And then I was just sitting there and being like, oh, you better run, man, you better run. He didn't run, he died. Well, he didn't, well, no. It's like, it's a game, okay? He didn't run, his character got reset because the scary monster caught him. Okay, anyway, so I'm back. It's like, oh, okay, he didn't survive the initial encounter. Anyway, so we're doing tiny details. I confused myself with Rupert Shell. I don't know, like, I was so distracted with the game, I got so confused with Rupert Shell. I was like, what's going on? Where am I? What's happening? Rupert, where are you? Anyway. I was drawing this late. I was very late last night. Because I'm doing the sketches for Inktober the day before. So instead of like on the 1st, I'm doing the day before the 1st. So that I can keep up, so I don't fall behind. Because I do work as well. And some days I just don't want to draw because I get tired. And then I lie down on my bed on TikTok. And then when I see again it's 2 a.m. and I need to go to bed. And then I'm like, oh my word. So yeah. So we've got 3 tiny motels and then we've got the VIP motel. And the VIP motel confused me because the game was getting good while I was watching it. And then I did something. I added a line that wasn't supposed to. Oh no, I didn't add a line. Yes, I did add a line. Yeah, there. See, there, I made a mistake. I did the circular bit too high. And then I wasn't sure how to fix it. And I was like, huh, I know how to fix it. I'm going to turn it into a sign. Because it's not round enough and it looks funny. So I made a sign. You're going to see the sign now. Just wait. There's a sign. It's a good sign. Rupert chose that log himself. I don't know who cut it, because maybe the fairies cut the log, but Rupert chose it himself. No, the termites cut the log. Yes. Or it could have been raccoons. No, not raccoons. Platypi. Platypuses. Platypus. Yes. He asked the platypus to cut for him a log and shape it and carve it. Anyway, if you want to color this image, you're going to have to give me 30 days to finish Inktober, and then I'm going to make a coloring book and upload it places. And then I'm going to start coloring all these pages next month with links to the coloring book. Yes. Okay. That's going to happen. So if you want to see what else is going to be in the coloring book, like and subscribe to my channel, and then we go from there, because this is Inktober, it's day by day. I'm just doing it a day early, so I upload early in the morning for you guys, because I normally draw at night. And I don't want to upload it late at night, because then nobody's going to watch it, you know? And then it's going to be like all of my other videos on YouTube. It's going to be like uploading it, getting 4 views, and I'm going to be like, oh, what's the point? And then I'm going to stop posting again for like 3 years. I don't know, that's just me. Anyway, so I'm doing Rupert's toe beans, and he's got claws for toe beans because he needs to be able to go off-road, because he's a turtle. I forgot if turtles have toes. They do have toes. Yes, they do. You know, the last time I actually saw a turtle in real life was probably over 10 years ago. So I'm pretty sure they have toes from what I've seen on Google. So he's got 3 toe beans on each toe. And he's a fantasy turtle, so it's a fantasy world. Basically everything I'm going to be drawing for this series is going to be from more or less the same world. Rupert's fantasy world. Maybe. I don't think it's called Rupert's fantasy world. Maybe it's just called, I don't know. Leave a comment. What's the fantasy world for Inktober going to be called, with all of my creatures and critters? Because they're mostly going to be animals. Yeah. I like drawing animals and creatures. Drawing people is, it's okay. It's just more fun to draw animals. Anyway, you're going to see me draw like a whole bunch of rocks now, because I needed to make a path for Rupert to walk on. I wanted to make it look like rocks that I drew in another sketch I'm busy with for my fantasy book, an actual word book this time, that I've been busy with for 5 years. I'm still editing it. It's book 1 of 5. No, it's book 1 of 12. There's 12 books in the series, and I finished book 1, and I've been editing it for like a couple of years. It's less editing and more judging myself at this point. Anyway, I drew rocks for that book because I drew monsters, and the monsters were in a cave, and there were a lot of rocks in the cave, and I really liked how the rocks looked. So I decided, you know what? Rupert needs rocks. He needs a path. Yeah, so I decided to draw him a path. I don't know who laid out this path in this fantasy world. Maybe it could have been Frederick the Ferret. Frederick the Ferret laid out this rocky path for Rupert the Turtle, because Rupert stubbed his toe on a something, on a log that he couldn't see in the tall grass. So Frederick the Ferret decided, you know what? Rupert the Turtle is very kind. I'm gonna lay him a path. I'm gonna lay him a path. So Frederick the Ferret spent the next rest of his life creating a path. No, he didn't. He just created a very long path for Rupert the turtle through the forest where Frederick lives because he felt bad for Rupert. I'm confusing myself with names. I shouldn't give them names because I have ADHD. I'm gonna forget it instantly. But Rupert the turtle was very grateful to Frederick. He really enjoyed Frederick's company as well, because at night when the fairies go to sleep in his little fairy hotel, Rupert and Frederick sit around a fire. They don't sit around a fire now, because then they could start a fire. So Rupert and Frederick, they sit at night staring up at the twinkling stars. There's no fire. Ooh, wait. Okay, I had to stop the recording because I had to go take a break, and then when I came back I had to stop and start the video again, and then when I put it into the phone, what happens is that it records it at an angle, and then I have to rotate it 90%. Where was I? Rupert and Frederick. Yes. They've become dear friends. Dear, dear friends. Frederick likes laying rocks into paths. Where does he get the rocks, you might ask? He mines in the caves, mountain caves area, and then he puts all the rocks in his bag. It takes him very long. He's a very strong ferret. He doesn't have anything else to do, so he just does this all day. And Rupert enjoys it because then his little footsies doesn't have to worry about stepping on anything sharp because the rocks are all smooth. Why is the rocks all smooth? I don't know. You'll have to ask Frederick. Frederick doesn't want to tell me what he does to make all the rocks smooth and round. But Rupert knows. Rupert doesn't want to tell me either. It's actually quite mean because, I spend a lot of time with these two. Even though you can't see Frederick, I can see Frederick. Maybe I should turn Frederick into a character for my Inktober. We'll see. There's still a lot of words to use. I do know for the next one I'm going to be sketching mouse. Where's my book? Because I drew all my basic planning sessions. Oh no, the next one was weave. So what I was thinking, I don't want to spoil it for you guys, so I'm not going to tell you. But it's not a mouse. But anyway, it's a very long path Rupert has been walking with his fairy hotel. The fairies absolutely adore him, except the ones that left 2 one-star reviews. They don't adore him. But that's their own fault because they chose to hotel with Rupert the turtle. And Rupert is a slow turtle. He's there for the scenery, not for the speed. I think my dogs are barking. I need to go check. I'll go check now. The video is almost done. So, I decided not to do a lot more detail after putting in all the stones because I was tired. So I added a couple of little stony bits. No. Yes. And then I added a couple of flowery bits. And then a couple of grassy bits, which you will see in 2 seconds. Now you might be wondering, if there are no humans to cut the grass, why is the grass so short? Well, animals eat grass. And there are ants, an ant colony that... Oh, excuse the heavy sigh over there. I had to stop recording the audio. Did I tell you guys what happened in the beginning of the video? I think I didn't. I put it on my computer and then I couldn't record audio, and then I had to put it back on my phone, and then I was like, maybe I should just not do Inktober. But then I was like, I've been trying since 2019. I've done it before. I've just done it very lazily before. But this year I'm going to record it and force myself to upload it. So if you do want to see more, like and subscribe. Anyway, so we did the grassy bits, and as I was saying, there's a bunch of warrior ants who don't war anymore, and they've become grass cutting ants. They cut it with their sharp pointy things at the front that they used to bite with. I forget the name of that. But that's why the grass is short. Because ants eat it. And then we've got a tree. Now if you're wondering why that branch over there is cut, well, there's a very good reason. And that reason is um as that reason is I'm gonna tell you now. Let me ask Rupert. Rupert, where's that branch cut? Rupert doesn't want to talk to me right now. But I think maybe it was a woodpecker. Yes, a woodpecker or a squirrel. Do squirrels create holes in trees? I don't know. I don't know squirrels. Anyway, we've got trees up there. I don't want to do too much for the background. And then I started erasing all the blue. And then because it, I want to scan it in for the coloring books. So I'm always so scared when I do this. I'm gonna rip Rupert's face or any of my drawings. Can you imagine how sad that would be? I'm gonna do a close-up view now because I still haven't figured out this whole recording thing. Recording is scary. I've got a ring light, but it doesn't have flexibility. And then I decided that, you know what? We need some thicker lines. So while Rupert is stuck staring at you, we're gonna thicken up the lines. Now, the bushes are just bushes, just foliage for small bugs. But the bugs don't like being called bugs. They're communities in the bushes. But Rupert knows they're just bugs. My dogs are fighting. But not like fighting. They just pretend to fight. I always get so scared they're gonna actually hurt each other, but they don't. They're just very vocal little dogs. New dogs. Anyway, we thickened up some lines. The video is about a minute away from being finished. And if you made it this far, I just wanted to tell you I really appreciate you. And if you want to see more art videos, there's going to be like 30 of them every day now. So it's Inktober. So subscribe and like, please, because I've been having my YouTube channel for many years and I just don't have luck with it. So if you like art, if you're wondering why the angle changed, it's because I had to go do something. I think I had to go do something and then I couldn't figure out how I had to ring light. But anyway, here's a close-up view. I'm not very good with cameras, but you can see it. It's Rupert in the Fairy Hotel. Rupert is a kind turtle. And fairies don't look very good, but they're very small. Anyway, like I said, if you made it this far, I really appreciate you. If you enjoyed my ramblings, I'm glad, because I don't know what to talk about on videos like this. And I'm very tired tonight, and I'm getting sick. But I appreciate you taking the time to watch my video. If you want to see close-up views, I do have Instagram. It's Elizabeth SS Tattoos. It's a profile picture of me in 2019. There's the date 2019. There'll be close-ups. Thank you. Bye.